Hello, everyone. Thanks for watching. We are the Ohio University Electrical Engineering Fencing Team. Our project name is called Epsilon EPE, Epsilon being an acronym standing for Electrical Portable Scoring System involving logic on nylon. Yes, we did start with the name, and we basically started with Epsilon and tried to figure out everything from there. So, what is fencing? So fencing is basically the sport of having a sword-like object with a blunt tip and trying to hit your opponent to gain a point. So our project specifically deals with the sword epee, which any point on a person, any hit on a person is considered valid, except for this little part here, which is called a handguard. If you ever hit that handguard, that is supposed to not be considered a hit. So we were approached by Dylan Wright. He is our TA for our capstone project lecture, and he's also involved in the Ohio University fencing team. And he wanted us to develop a wireless scoring system for the fencing team. So they do have an older wired system, and how it works is if you ever hit any person, just any point in the body, what it's supposed to do is it just completes a circuit from one wire, from the button to the other, and just goes to a digital pin on a scoring machine saying, hey, you got a hit. Now, whenever you hit this handguard in a wired system, this is grounded. And how that works is this button is actually conductive, so the current can actually flow through the button itself into the opponent's handguard. You started that, didn't you? Into the opponent's handguard. And it doesn't create a valid hit, so the person would not get a point. We have a lot of complications with that in a wireless system, as in a wired system, there's a common ground, so voltage can go from one circuit to another. Since we don't have that, we kind of had to get a little creative, and we reverse engineered a patent that we found online that essentially we would pulse a wave into this handguard and try and count the number of pulses. You can actually kind of view it on our little TV over here, kind of what's happening. So, yep, just pulsing this little signal on the top right into our handguard. And what happens is we get this little up and down signal, and that's what exactly we're reading to try and determine an invalid hit. You just see that straight part when you hit any part of the body, and you see that wavy part whenever you hit our handguard, which is how we're able to detect invalid hits. It is a little finicky with our product, but it works great outside of our cases. So I'll go into a little bit in depth of how our cases work. So in front, we have this little 3-prong connector. This is standard on all EPEs and all fencing equipment at that. We have our little power switch right here. This is our little charging indicator. And then finally, this green and red light, once the device is turned on, that will tell you who scored what point. Because in EPE, you have a green player and a red player. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in real quick. And I'm going to have the rest of my team get our base station ready to give you a quick demonstration. Turn these on. So, just to be safe. Is that okay, glare-wise? Cool. So we have our base station currently counting down with our timer. You get 3 minutes in EPE with 3 periods. Now I'm going to have Nick go ahead and hit one of the buttons. So what happens is our body packs make a beeping sound, and it'll update our score here on our scoreboard. I'm actually going to go ahead and turn these real quick. And then if you want to go ahead and hit play again, and then hitting the other end of the EPE, it'll beep, the LEDs will turn on, and then it'll update our scoreboard again. Now again, from what I originally said, we're still trying to troubleshoot getting our invalid hits to properly work, as it works outside of our case. But inside, we're getting a lot of interference because we're essentially making an antenna, and it's just bouncing back and affecting all of our electronics. So in the future, We plan to just hopefully put a metal cage, like a Faraday cage, around this, and it should fix a lot of our problems. But in the meantime, that's pretty much our project, and we appreciate you watching. Thanks again.